And welcome back to the
Big
Balla Show. Here with my co-host Michael Northup.
Yes, sir. We're
Introduce
back
yourself.
in the same room.
The same room, finally again. You know, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Want to explain to them why it's been like that?
Yeah. So I just got back from school, college, and for the next week or two, we're online, and they close the halls. They close the halls about. I mean, they're gonna close it this week. So yeah, I'm back for like a month and a half, a little break coming up, and thought, okay, we'll get back in the podcast again. I only did one when I was up there. It was with Luke.
Oh, okay.
In the hall.
We're not really too far, you know. And there hasn't been that many episodes in between then from when we last recorded. I think maybe like 2 or 3 that, you know, were recorded separately. But no, it's dope to have you back. You just came back from like hunting or something, right?
Yeah, so the drive back from the school to Pelham here would be like 5 hours, but that got chopped almost perfectly in half because on the way past our hunting property. And so season started Saturday. Yeah, today is Sunday. So I stopped there, packed up my gear. So I had all these different bags. I had bags for like all my clothes, and then I had like separate ones for hunting for once I got to the property. And
dude, hunting's dope, but like, you know, wake up at like what, like 5 a.m.
we wake up at so we have like a trailer on the property, but like it doesn't have internet, and like we're kind of you know not the biggest outdoorsmen, I'd say. So we stay at like a hotel nearby, and so we're waking up at like 4:30 instead of 5, and then yeah, by the second day, there's slight hallucination. It's just funny because I put on my Twitter, tomorrow I'm gonna rant about hallucinating in a tent for 12 hours, and then some presidential stuff.
Trippy, bro.
What?
Hallucinations could be trippy, bro.
So you know, I'm out there from like 5-6 a.m. to like 5-6 p.m. Not usually 6 because the sun sets by like 5. And this one was a lot shorter because I wanted to come home this trip. But you know, we're going back up in a couple weeks, and by the second or third day, you know, when I say you hallucinate, you don't hear voices, you don't see people. Like it's not like you're like on drugs. Like
it's not like what.
Yeah,
it
you're
is
not
in
like on
movies.
mushroom. I just say hallucinate, which sounds really bad for the record, but it's more like you see patterns.
You start bugging out.
What?
Basically, you start tripping out.
No, you definitely start bugging out.
And it's not like what you see in the movies, where it's like you see like random shit.
Yeah, no, it's just you know, like I'll start dozing off, and it's just like you'll see a pattern in a tree, or I mean, if anyone who's like hiked and like slept in the woods has definitely like knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, you know, it's like I don't know, 5:30, and my dad leaves because like my spot's on the way to his. So you know, he gets back on the ATV, he drives away, and I'm alone. So you know, I load my rifle and I'm all set up, and it is like pitch black. I have a lantern and you know, my flashlight, and there's no point in even, you know, pointing the flashlight because it's just there's nothing to see. If I did think I saw a deer, I probably wouldn't even take a shot when it's that dark.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, because I'm just not comfortable with it. And you know, I'm on the ground in it's called a blind. A hunting tent is really called a blind, and so I hear every leaf, every squirrel, every branch, every little thing I hear. Which I mean, it sounds like a curse and a blessing because at least then you can hear the deer coming. But I have a funny story that I can talk about in a minute. What was I gonna say? So yeah, you know, my dad leaves, and I can hear the wind and like, you know, all this movement, and I'm just like assuming, okay, I hope that's a squirrel, not a fucking bear. Hope that's a squirrel. I'm hearing shit all around me.
You smell a bear though.
Can you?
Yeah, you smell that shit from like a far away.
A bear?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like, I
A
think
bear can probably smell me from a mile.
I think almost up to a mile. Some people say almost up to a mile.
Really?
Yeah, they stink.
Wow. Yeah, they look like nasty
especially
animals.
when there's like wind and stuff, because it kind of carries. But yeah. If you're that close to a bear, you'll definitely smell it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll remember that.
I had a scary can't speak right now. Scary story once. We were up on my dad's property, and we were just, you know, chilling. My brother and dad are just target practicing in the back. I'm just like chilling with the farm animals or whatever.
The farm animals.
The two goats we
sir.
have. And bro, I just see my dad and my brother like run and just like get in the house, get the animals in the barn. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And they're like, you don't hear that? And like I like close my eyes, just like listen. I'm like, oh, I hear that bear, bro. We heard this bear just like on the property. And we're like, holy
I've
shit.
never seen one in real life in any capacity.
That was like the first time I've been like near it like that.
Yeah.
Like I thought I saw it running through the trees. I'm not 100% sure. It damn near looked like it. I know it was really close though. My brother and dad just like ran out with they each had a gun. They're just like, yo, we gotta make sure because we have a ton of farm animals and stuff. We don't want the bear getting into that at night.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like it's not necessarily that they want to just go kill it, but at least scare it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was
like the reality is like when you're out there with like a rifle, you have something that can probably take out most animals on this continent.
Yeah.
But the idea of a bear charge is scary. They're really rare unless the bear has cubs or it's like a grizzly bear.
Yeah. It's a big
they're not gonna
like a bear's not just gonna come after you and kill you.
They're mostly passive animals.
Yeah, it's the same thing like a shark. A shark is not just gonna swim up and bite your leg. It's not how it works.
Yeah, it can't. I mean, like it's happening.
They need to feel threatened,
Mm-hmm.
or they need to think you're prey, which bears usually won't. Or again, like you said, if they have cubs with them, then yeah, you're not much
if they have cubs and they see you, I've seen videos of this where they will just charge.
Yeah, because they're very protective. You know what crazy thing about bears? You know why it's always the mom with the cubs?
Why?
Because the dad bear will try to kill the cubs as soon as they're born.
I think if it's not his cubs, he'll
if it
kill
is.
Them. Really?
Yeah, because they'll try to kill the cubs so then they can like remate with the mom.
So does the mama kill the dad bear?
She either fights, kills him, or she tries to like escape with the cubs.
Is that true? Shit.
Yeah.
She tries to escape with the cubs.
Or I think sometimes, yeah, she'll either try to kill him too.
Fucking bear, man.
Bears are cool though.
So I mean, like again, like I know I shouldn't be afraid of it, but when I'm on the ground, anything I see, it's like worst case scenario. If I was up in a tree stand, which I'm trying to build one for next year, it's a whole different game. I'm not worried about anything at all. Nothing's touching me.
Yeah, you're at less risk from like actually dealing with an animal. Like
yeah. Also, when it snows, you're not in the snow. It's just such a better environment. You can see things better. Sometimes you can hear them better. But yeah, I mean, like in the mornings when I'm in the tent, like I can't see an inch out the light. It is like what's that color? Black, where it's like it absorbs all the light. You know what I'm talking about? I forgot, but it is the most pitch black I've ever seen, and it's just I imagine something out of like what's that horror movie where the woman gets locked in the basement and she lights that candle and there's like a face behind her.
Oh, is that The Conjuring?
Yeah, I think it is.
Conjuring.
I imagine
here's
that.
the 3 claps, like.
Yeah. No, I imagine that.
I think it's The Conjuring or that's Insidious. I get the two mixed up.
It's definitely The Conjuring, and that's like exactly what I imagine is gonna happen. I've hallucinated like once like the 3rd or 4th day I'm out there. Again, like 12 hours a day. Like you're kind of sitting around, not doing much. I'm not doing anything physically, so my mind is just, because half of it's mental.
Facts.
And I've imagined. It's like I say you don't see things, but you see patterns. So I'll see a pattern in the bushes that looks like a school bus. Like I know it's not a giant yellow school bus.
It's almost like cloud watching, but with like things that don't really take shape. Yeah.
Exactly. I have a video of a woodpecker next to me carves out a perfect 7, like a 7, like straight up on the top and like the curved bottom like that. And I'm looking at that, and I'm like, "There's no fucking way." And I take a video just to like know I'm not fucking crazy. And
but going back to The Conjuring, then it's got me thinking, bro. Do you like horror movies?
What?
Horror movies? Do you watch them or not really?
I'm not crazy about them, but I think. Okay, listen, I'm laughing at them. I'm the guy in the movie theater laughing at them. Like, I just can't take it seriously.
Like, for me, though, like, if a horror movie is not based off a true story, it doesn't, like, freak me out at all.
Yeah, exactly.
But when they're based off a true story, bro,
whole different fucking ball game. Then you can't sleep the next night.
Yeah, and it's also, like, I get it. They're probably exaggerating the real events.
They still are, always, yeah.
Yeah, but it's just, like, the fact that, like the fact that can happen in real life, just, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
my voice sounds so much different than how it normally sounds. Just realized because so when I drove back from the property. So I drove from the school to the property, and then here I just took the biggest nap of my career. I woke up and I texted AJ. I'm like, bro, we gotta film tonight. Tonight's Sunday before you go.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm going on vacation tomorrow for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, where you going?
Colorado, to my dad's property.
That's wild. Oh, is that the property you still live there at?
Yeah.
How many acres you got there?
I believe it's 35.
Wow, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice land. It's very like mountainous and it's cool.
See, I keep trying to convince my dad and my grandfather, I'm like, yo, let's get more land. And it's like, the reality is all you need is 2 acres to kill a deer. 2 to 4 good acres. Unless, you're trying to get a field, which is pretty sick. But
yeah,
we got
the reason why we got 35 is because like out there it's just cheap as fuck.
Yeah, we have 56, but it's been around our family for a really long time. I don't know how many years, but a while since my grandfather was probably not much older than me. And
damn.
Yeah.
No, but I was just the reason earlier I brought up the horror movies because earlier I was looking at this I believe it was The Conjuring, and I saw this girl on TikTok who like I guess lives in that house now.
Like, the house?
Like the house.
Oh, she's gonna get rich off that TikTok.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like she already has like hundreds of thousands of followers and stuff.
What does she record? She must bullshit it and say she hears shit.
I haven't watched a ton of her videos just because I know like you're not gonna see anything, or you know what I mean.
What's there for her to produce?
So I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure. So if someone knows who she is on TikTok, you can like check me on this. But I'm pretty sure like 60% that it's like she does like tours and stuff there, but she like stays there.
She lives there.
I think so. It's something like that. I don't think that's like her house, but I'm pretty sure like she's a bed there.
Was that like an orphanage or like?
Nah, it was just like a normal family.
I think in the movie I remember it being like a nun.
So in the movie the storyline is like there's this family that moves in and starts to get some scary shit going on, and they call like this like pastor or something and like his wife, and they kind of like try to get rid of the spirits.
Wow, how did that end? Spoiler.
Spoiler if you haven't seen the movie already, even though I bet everyone here has, but it ends like something. I haven't seen it in a couple years, but I'm pretty sure it's like one of the sisters something gets like taken over by like the spirit, like the devil, and starts bugging out, and they do some like holy shit, like put the cross on her or something, and she gets better. But it's something along those lines.
I would not. You couldn't pay me enough. I mean, you actually could pay me enough to sleep in that house, but it would take a lot.
Do you know what's crazy though?
What?
The house that I didn't know this, but the house that she lives in, that TikToker, like the actual Conjuring house, the house in the movie is not the actual house.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Oh, that kind of ruins it.
That's what I'm saying, right? Doesn't that ruin it?
It's not even like modeled after the real house.
It's like so. Nah, you know what? Comparing them, they don't really look alike.
Yeah.
At all, because I remember, like the iconic like tree in that like on the cover screen with the swing. Yeah. Like that's not like the actual Conjuring.
That's bullshit. Why'd they do that?
That kind of ruined the movie for me.
Yeah.
Damn, that's not the actual house. That kind of sucks.
So the house just magically wasn't cursing. See, who validates this shit?
Who validates what?
Who's to say these people aren't just making it up for clout?
What, the whole like horror story?
Yeah.
And stuff?
I mean, they must have some recording.
Yeah, they gotta have something. But I mean, no, exorcisms, like, they're real. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
Nah, dude, people
get possessed. I'm superstitious, but I still don't really believe it.
No, I get it, but like, bro, people get possessed.
I don't think so.
Bro, there's live recordings, and unless they're the best actors.
How do you know these aren't kids? I mean, all those are from 100 years ago. How do you know these kids aren't? There's none of those today, I believe.
No, there are.
How do you know these kids aren't suffering from something? The first thing I would do is get them a brain scan before I... And that's the truth.
I don't know, bro. I see videos, again, I don't know how real they are, but I see videos and they look real as fuck. So I don't know, dude. But I just think the whole thing is cool. Like, I think exorcisms are cool. I think, like...
Not if you're getting exercise.
Well, I just won't get
possessed. Not if you're the person.
I just won't get possessed. I'm just built different.
Yeah. I'm just built different. Yeah, tonight now you're going to hear shit drop.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
You're going to hear shit drop, bro.
My closet doors just start banging open. And closing.
Where my dorm is. My room is at the corner of this thing. And so there's no room beyond that. Right? It's just the edge of the building. And one night, the second time I ever drove up there, not including when I was moving in, I drove like 5 hours, didn't stop once, and fucking, I was up late the night before. We were hanging at like Brandon's house. And then I get there, I'm doing a ton of work, and then I take a melatonin. So I'm not like physically tired at all, but my mind is fucking exhausted. So I'm laying there in bed, and like my body's awake, but my mind's asleep. And I'm hearing knocking going up and down this fucking wall. And there can't be knocking. That's the edge of the fucking building.
Right.
And I turn on the light, and I turned on sound memos, and I'm trying to fucking record it. And I'm not having the most luck doing that. It was being a bitch. So
yeah, dude.
but-
Have you ever done a Ouija board?
no, I really want to.
I've done it.
And no, I've done it, but I don't own one. I remember I was doing one in Luke and Trone's basement, with Yvonne. Like, oh my god, this had to be like 4 or 5 years ago, and shit, like these board games he had in his basement were just dropping. I swear to God, off the fucking shelf behind us, like 2 of them, and then we were like, okay, we're gonna fucking stop.
Dude, they say like Ouija boards are like bullshit. Like they say like, oh, there's something in your brain that like makes you move the little thing.
That's true.
But like, bro, like
To some degree.
there have been like recordings and stuff of like people doing a Ouija board and like real shit ends up happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've never had the board move, and I know Yvonne. He's crazy, but if me and him were trying to find some sketchy shit, he won't like inside job like, oh, I'll move it and freak out Michael.
He won't manipulate it.
Yeah, no, he won't like let his mind. Like I can trust him with that. So, I mean, I want to get one. My mom would never. My mom hates it. My family overall hates it.
My brother got one for Christmas, and like my mom
Wow,
was like
that's a good
so
present.
pissed. She like threw holy water on it and threw it in the garbage.
No,
house.
there's a special way you're supposed to open it and close it to
Yeah,
keep the
but,
demons
like,
in, man.
I feel like if they were legit, like you could get a Ouija board at like Target.
Yeah.
I feel like if they were legit, you wouldn't just be getting them everywhere. You know
Well, there are some that I'm sure are more haunted than others.
I guess.
But I mean, the fact that this is like on a production line in someone's fucking factory, and it's getting shipped to like a Walmart franchise and put on a shelf with the same labels as it does have kind of like okay, there's nothing beyond or spiritual about this. It's just
you
a
gotta remember, it's
materialistic
human
one.
beings building these. So how are they like? How do they get them haunted?
Well, I mean, look at the Annabelle doll. Yeah, no, they get built, they get haunted. Yeah.
But then, like, what's the difference between going and buying one from a factory or just drawing on a piece of paper all the numbers and letters?
There reasonably there shouldn't be a difference. I don't think there is.
I don't think there is.
If there was, I mean, I'm.
Dude, the Annabelle doll.
I know I said like I'm superstitious. I'm like I don't believe in. I don't know if I believe in ghosts.
I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in like spirits. You feel me?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think anyone can talk to the dead. I'm really against psychics.
Really?
I'm completely against psychics.
I think people can communicate with the dead.
I think it's all manipulation. I think it's a business model that should. I don't want to say be outlawed.
But like, dude, my mom went to like a psychic with one of her friends, and like I guess like her friend's mom died or something. I'm not gonna say any names, but my mom's friend's mom died or something, and the psychic like said something about her mom, and she was like, "How the fuck do you know that?"
Okay, Facebook.
Bro, that's not how that worked. Like, it was something like you wouldn't find.
Did she have your mom's phone number or name before?
Hmm?
Did she have your mom's phone number or name before the meeting?
It was my mom's friend. I don't know.
Oh,
But she said something to her that was like,
my mom.
How do you know that?
I mean, everyone. I'm gonna be honest. Everyone I know that has gone to one is like, no way. My mom has gone to one. Has said that my sister is so into it. She started. I told you last time I was here a month or two ago. A business on Etsy where she sells, and she promises up and down it's real. But I'm like, I'm interested in the business. I'll invest in it. But I'm
Maybe
not
you should go to one yourself.
I know. No, I know. Maybe I should. We'll have
Dude, do you know what we gotta do one day?
we'll
We gotta
have
go
the
see the
podcast funded.
Annabelle doll.
What?
The Annabelle doll, like
What?
the actual one.
What about it?
We gotta go see it.
The couple lives in Long Island or New Jersey?
Nah, so it's now at a museum.
Oh, okay. Where's that?
It's like 2 hours away from us.
I'm down.
It's
I'm
in
so down.
Connecticut. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you like touch it, you get haunted.
It's in a case.
We
Yeah.
should steal that shit.
Oh, dude, it would sell for, I bet over 100.
Millions, bro.
I don't know, a million. Yeah, it would sell for a lot of fucking money, bro.
Yeah.
Some sick asshole would want them. I would imagine sleep. I think no, it's a museum. They used to have in their house, in their basement, used to have like their own
Yeah.
archive, all the haunted shit, and they have the Annabelle doll there, and they never fixed it. but they stopped the spirit from wanting to kill people. Yeah, the reason I don't believe in ghosts is like it's only when you're. It's only when it's. Yeah, I think science. He dropped his phone. I think science can kind of prove that. Okay, it's when you're more creative and you're letting your imagination get to yourself. Because no one sees a ghost when they're at a fucking baseball game in broad daylight. No one does. No one sees a ghost when they're driving their car. When it's you kind of don't think about it. You're kind of not scared. It's like you're not even. It's when it's nighttime. Your senses are naturally kicked up, right? So you're more timid without even wanting to be, just subconsciously.
No, I mean that's true, but like there have been stories of people like will drive by at night and like they swear on their life to like see some little girl, and like that like it's just stranded on the middle of the road, and they'll like turn around, she's like gone.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like people swear like that shit happens. Like you said,
I'm not crazy about like any religion. That's what like I'm anti. I'm not superstitious about, but I'm just superstitious about. I don't believe in luck. I don't know. I'm really picky with this shit.
Well, I'm just against all religion, but
yeah,
because at the end of the day, people don't realize that,
Well, you said you believe in spirits.
Yeah, but I don't. That has nothing to do with religion.
Well, okay. Well, religious spirits like angels and shit.
Well,
that can be considered.
That's not what I mean necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I can't really explain about. When I say like a religion, I'm against like this like tribalism of these different like. People that at the end of the day they have the same belief, just different ways of it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, obviously.
I don't know who said this. I think it was like a YouTuber or someone I was watching. They said like religion is just like a big game of telephone. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like all like Judaism, Christianity, Islam. They all believe in the same God. You feel me?
Well, even if they don't believe in the same God, it still is always the same means to give an answer to people.
Yeah, and I just feel like I think religion was just made to like group people.
Mm-hmm. Not all religions have the same God for sure. Like Buddhists.
Well, no, all three of the major religions all believe in God.
Okay, there's a million other fucking religions.
I'm saying it's the top three major ones, and those top three always have a ton of conflict.
That's true.
But then you guys have the same end goal.
Yeah, they're so religious. They have the same end goal, yet they want to fucking not today, but they wanted to kill each other. In the past.
Israel, Palestine, they're still going at it.
Yeah, well, I mean, didn't Trump make peace there?
I mean. Technically signed some deal, but they still.
I don't know. I never understood how moving the the embassy or the
Israel embassy,
whatever sphere of influence. I don't understand how that made peace, but it did.
It didn't. There are a lot of Palestinians still pissed at Trump and like the U.S. because basically Trump, I'm pretty sure, like he announced like it's like Jerusalem as like the capital of Israel or something, or Israel the capital.
I think I never understood what's the land there? Yeah, the geology. Is it geography? Geography. Yeah.
Geology is like rocks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it. The fuck. But what are your thoughts on See, this is a nice way to cycle back. Killing an animal, hunting. Just hunting.
Animal. Well.
Because I post this shit on my story of like a dead deer, that my brother shot. And I look at, it's funny, I scroll up on the views, and the second I see, like, all friends, then I know, someone unblocked me. So I scroll right down to the bottom. I go to others, and I'll see, like, five kids that, I just know them from high school that are, like, they're soy. But, like, I knew they were going to block me.
I don't see why, like, killing an animal is so wrong.
Yeah, they think that listen, more than listen, I'm not going to lie, like, the average person gets their groceries from the fucking store today. No one really needs, the vast majority of people that hunt don't literally need to hunt to survive, unless you're in a survival situation.
Okay, but what's the difference? So would you rather someone?
I'm not. Listen, I was gonna say my counter.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like I don't understand the difference. Like, but people that are against hunting, what you'd rather people torture those cows and those farms and stuff?
Yeah, I mean they hate hunting, but they love
one kill.
They probably love meat. They fucking hate hunting. I mean,
I'm saying, unless they want everyone in the world to go vegan and we'd all fucking die.
If I was to say I hunt because I like the millisecond it takes to shoot a bullet, I'd be full of shit. And if I say I like hunting because I like killing an animal, I would also be full of shit.
It is.
Now because it's so much more than that. If you look at it objectively, hunting fucking sucks. It fucking sucks, bro. You gotta haul up so much gear. You freeze your ass off all fucking day. And then, again, by the third or fourth day, you're fucking you're borderline hallucinating. And then when you finally see that deer, so as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't exist. It's a fucking unicorn until you see it. And then your heart rate's through the fucking roof, at least for me. And it's like this huge, it's this huge deal. And it's not that like I get that much you don't get satisfaction out of killing something, but it's like, it's like working out. It sucks, but you feel good after. Yeah. Even if you don't catch a deer, just hiking, for instance, you feel good after. It's a tradition of my family. It's an American tradition, quite frankly.
It's a world tradition.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once. A world fucking tradition, and it's the smokes with my family. It's the laughs. It's the we're roasting each other till the middle of the fucking night, and it's like waking up at 4:30. It rips, but around 11, 12, kind of like after you finish a workout, you're so happy you did.
No, yeah, and people don't realize, like, hunters, from my experience, like, they have the most respect for animals. They really do. It's the hunters that are like the good hunter is against like the poachers and stuff. You know what I mean?
I think I talked about this in a previous podcast. The universe has this energy where opposites attract, and it's like as if you get someone like the biggest dog barks the least kind of thing. Yeah. The person who is the most materialistic more than likely has the least amount of money. Yeah. And it's like you see this a lot with, I could name a million things, but to be on topic, hunters, they tend to be the biggest conservationists, in my opinion. They tend to actually care the most about animals despite wanting to kill one. You look at, again, people that work out,
look at Theodore Roosevelt.
What?
Theodore Roosevelt.
What about him?
Big hunter.
Yeah.
The most
massive conservationist.
He's probably the biggest conservationist president ever.
Yeah.
And that's how it is in like the daily hunter, like the average hunter. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Now you look at guys that like work out, for instance. The notion is that they're probably assholes. If you go into the gym, you're gonna get gym intimidation. But the reality is, they're the most objective and least materialistic people ever. Because they'll look at like a kid who's skinny or another kid who's jacked, and they can look beyond the way they look physically. Yeah. So it's, I mean, of course you're gonna get the people that have body dysmorphia and they go with like that. That's gonna be a thing, similar to. I'm sure you probably get some crazy ass fucking hunters, but yeah, I mean,
it's a fact. I think that's just with anything though. Like a whole opposites attract. Like back to the materialistic thing. Like even in sports, I feel like the people like try to act like they got the nicest moves and stuff aren't as good as those people that are fundamentally good at the sport.
You've probably spoken to a really popular athlete. You probably met someone who's in the NFL.
NFL,
or like famous music artists.
NBA definitely. Yeah.
Anyone that's famous, most of the time they're the nicest fucking people. From what I've seen. That's a fact,
but also I've met probably in my life maybe like 20 NBA players, and they've all been super cool. Yeah. Maybe like one of them was a dickhead, but you don't really know. Is that just them, or are they just doing that for the cameras, or
or maybe they're having a bad day because you're not. I mean, you don't see them.
Yeah, they're people too.
No, they're literally people.
If I'm having a bad day, I don't want these like bunch of people like, hey, can we take a picture? You know what I mean? I'd feel the same way.
I think by the 10th time that would annoy the shit out of me.
Yeah, exactly. Now there are guys that absolutely love that. I can just tell by players I've met. They just love it because they're just like, I can't, like, in their head they're probably, I can't believe these people are like here for me. You know what I mean? It's like they're a celebrity.
So, I had I don't want to name names. I don't think I should. But he told me hunting's the oldest sport ever.
It is.
It's. I mean, it's funny because I've heard my sister say, it's the only sport where the other team doesn't know they're playing. Which is like okay, it's completely true. That puts things into perspective very well. But I mean, listen, New York State issues tags, and as for the time being that I can legally hunt, like, listen, you might see my I'm about to go on a rant. You might see my fucking dead deer pic on Instagram, but listen, I try not to show a gore anymore, but yeah, you can unfollow, you can block my shit, but like I see all these kids in their sports They don't want to see one picture of my sport once a year. Now I get it. Their sport's lacrosse. They kind of don't kill animals in lacrosse. But I still think their sport's fucking stupid. They probably think mine is stupid. But,
Well, I mean, the same people that are against hunting or like they probably go fishing and stuff.
yeah.
What's
yeah.
the difference? Oh, because
Yeah.
fishes aren't as cute as
The same
deer.
people. Yeah, they try and judge like how smart these animals are. I mean, if you look at a deer's senses, their smell, their taste, their hearing, they're very smart, and they're really curious animals. They'll sometimes come back if after you take a shot. Like if you shoot at a deer in a herd, sometimes the other ones will come back to like see. But though I've had a deer walk up to its dead friend, quite frankly, and they look at it, and then and then I shoot them. But no, they don't understand death. Not that we do. But one thing that really put into perspective for me is I started to think, what if aliens came here and they saw us the same way we see a squirrel and hunted us? That's why.
Fucking dope.
What?
That'd be cool.
They're slaughtering us, the aliens. Imagine that. Here's the thing, though. My policy is, if we ever get to Mars or the other places, is we don't touch shit. We don't fuck with any of the animals there. I don't care if it's a squirrel. We make a law like you.
I don't think there's squirrels on Mars.
No shit. But like when we get to these planets that do have animals and shit, because I mean, you could be killing what would have been a prehistoric human thousands of fucking years ago, millions of years, right? So that's my take on it. Until like we have a million planets.
Well, I'll tell you that we're not going to be reaching any planets with animals in our lifetime.
I have a feeling we won't either.
Yeah, no. I mean,
unless we can get to light speed. Unless we get to light speed, I don't think we're gonna forever.
No, yeah, honestly, I don't either. And also, I don't trust NASA. So
yeah. Who was it? I think it was the Neil Armstrong. Those three that landed on. I know not one of them, two of them's not alive anymore. But they're really against privatized
space
travel, which is probably the dumbest thing I have ever. I think.
You're against privatized space?
No. I think what they're saying is the dumbest thing I've ever.
That's not that, bro.
I think we should get rid of NASA and.
I don't, bro. I just don't trust anything NASA says or does. Yeah,
but it's like, what's more like, kind of progressive or globalist than thinking an entire country is responsible for putting a flag on another planet? I think if you want to, I mean, it's just simple economics. You want these companies to compete. If NASA is gone, you're going to have maybe another couple space exploration private companies that come through. Then they're competing with NASA, and then it's just competition. Their product will get better and better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, definitely. But also, I see the idea behind like space travel and stuff. It's like, all right, like in the Earth, like it's pretty much like there's no more really imperialism. You know what I mean? I feel like certain countries have conflict, so I don't feel like there's any like imperialism anymore. Yeah. Like each country, what they have now is what they have.
Well, yeah, if we were still competing with Russia, that'd be different. Then maybe we could use NASA, just because I do want the American flag on these other planets. But you think Tesla, or not Tesla? You think Elon Musk is gonna land on these other planets and not happily throw in an American flag? Like, no, these people are fucking patriots. Also, they're big philanthropists. I don't think they, I would trust them. I would. But yeah.
No, definitely. But
so we talk about
well, like SpaceX though, so I think it's dope.
Yeah, I wish he would take it public, man. I understand why he isn't. I think so. But yeah, no, he talked about hunting, drove back. Fucking exhausted right now.
How do you feel about the COVID vaccine?
The COVID vaccine. I was gonna say to round this off, we can talk about the COVID vaccine and the state of the presidential election.
I think we should wait on the election. I think we should wait on that.
Okay, deal.
Just real quick on the vaccine. Are you going to get it?
Dude, no one is. I don't know anyone who said they would.
I do not trust that shit.
Or at least right away. Over 50% of Americans said they wouldn't take it.
Like, I wouldn't.
When it comes out.
No, but fucking Biden's going to make it mandatory.
He won't. He'll try, but he won't.
He would. He
won't be the president.
What?
Well, he would need to be the president for that. Okay, no, we won't get into that. No, if he is,
when I say mandatory, it's not like you need to get it, you're in jail, but it's gonna make like those other vaccines. Like if you don't get those, you can't go to public school.
I think it's like packing the cord. I don't think he has the balls to open up that can of worms. I don't think any president does. What country is doing that right now? The UK.
What?
So there's some European country that's doing mandatory vaccines, or maybe it's in Asia.
But if the U.S.
they're freaking out though.
But when the U.S. were to, if they were to make it mandatory, like I said, it wouldn't be like you have to get this or you're in jail. Or you get a fine. It's like, like those vaccines you get that you need to get to like go to public school.
Yeah,
It'd
be one of those.
He'd make it one of those. But still, bro, I'm not getting a fucking vaccine like fucking publicized by like Bill Gates and all this shit.
That's the thing is now these public schools, if they get that embedded into where, that's fucked. I would put my kid through a private school for them, I guess.
I would too.
Because that is.
Like, I'm about to go to college and shit. Like if they like actually make the vaccine like mandatory, bro, I'm either gonna do college online at some community college and my college can go fuck themselves, or I'm gonna go get a doctor, like pay them to write off that I did get it.
That ain't gonna happen. Doctors are gonna risk giving up.
Bro, a lot of doctors do that.
Their entire. I don't think. Are you sure?
Yeah, you just don't know about it.
Listen, I get it. I wish it wasn't the case.
You just have to get like.
But I'm libertarian. I'm libertarian in that these people have to have the choice. You know, they have to have the choice.
Yeah, the government should not be like forcing. Like, that's the thing. When you come out and you're like, oh, like I'm against vaccines, people think, oh, you're anti-vax. You want to kill your kids. No, but we want the choice to, we don't want these vaccines forced down our.
If they can have the choice to have an abortion at their own discretion, then why can't people that are already alive have the choice to?
That's what I'm saying. My body, my choice, right? Like.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, vaccines, like, it's not that. Okay, I get it. Look, I get vaccines. You know what I mean? I'm not like an anti-vax. But I think people should have the choice to get it. And you might say, oh, well, then public schools have the choice to not allow you. But a public school is funded and run by. It's not run, but it's funded by the government. And
then they put their policy in that says you have to get this fucking vaccine.
That's an infringement on our rights by the government. Look, if a private school...
Well, the government's representing voters who... I mean, the vast majority of people probably do want them to be mandated after the fact that they're already, normal. See, if you were to go back to when we had if we were to go back to when we had the flu vaccine and all this other shit...
But you can't use a majority...
No one really had a problem with that.
Well, the flu is not a mandatory vaccine.
What?
The flu is not a mandatory.
What is it when you go to public school?
I think like the measles shot, like the thing for like the whooping cough. I think that's mandatory. Probably the chicken pox one.
Yeah.
I think those are like the mandatory ones.
Oh, those are classic fucking. Yeah, viruses. Wow.
Like the flu shot's not mandatory. I haven't gotten the flu shot in years.
I don't think I've ever gotten one. I've had the flu. I've never gotten a flu shot.
I don't. I've been sick a lot, but I don't think I've ever had the flu. Maybe once.
You always hear both sides politically. They always are like, "Oh, you don't believe in science." We're opening up a new gate, if you haven't realized it, into this area that's like, which party believes more in science? And they're both so hypocritical. They're both so. But
like, for example, if you look at someone like Dr. Fauci. In April and May, he was saying masks don't do anything. And now they're saying, and and liberals were like.
And they were calling Trump xenophobic.
What?
And they were calling Trump xenophobic when Nancy Pelosi was over there partying. So
I'm saying, when Trump closed down the borders, before there was a single death in the U.S., everyone's like, oh, he's xenophobic. Like, he wants to keep the U.S. white, all this stuff. And then they're like, oh, he didn't do anything to help it. It's like, bro, he closed down the borders before there was a single death in the U.S.
I argued with my dad the other day because I used to kind of agree. I wish he didn't give so much power to the states and he kind of took control and helped people. But I think if he was better at bullshitting and sugarcoating things, which I'm happy he doesn't, he would have a better chance of getting reelected because, he would go up there and he wouldn't exactly give a lot of hope to people. And when he would, the media would say he gave false hope. And when he wouldn't give hope, the media would shin him for that.
Well, also, it's like,
and I think that I've learned over the past year, and I'm not that tight about him for it anymore, because I think there's never really a bad reason to give more power to the states.
No, I get that, but the thing is, Trump didn't do specifically himself a ton for COVID because he did, like you said, he left it up to the states. Yeah. And people attacked him for that.
Get a libertarian approach on it for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Trump used the federal government to take control of it, people would say, oh, he's abusing his power. And that's the thing with Trump.
Can't win with these people.
That's the thing with Trump. It's like, no matter what he does, he loses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter what
and that's not him.
It's like even the North Korea thing. They were like, if Trump gets elected, North Korea is going to kill us all. If Trump won't help us, Trump goes and helps. Trump goes and calms shit down in North Korea, and they're like, Trump's friends with the dictator. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
When we were doing that live stream during the election, I put up this meme, and it's every year since 2000, and it's some fear that year that everyone had, and at the bottom it says, turn off your TV. Fear is what's killing you.
It's a
And
fact.
it's the truth.
And we can't live in fear. That's why, like, I'm
No,
against, like, open the damn country.
Okay, listen, Alex Jones is crazy, but if you've listened to what he's been saying since the 90s, it's almost all come true.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah,
like
he is.
the dude's office rocker crazy, but it's true. These people for a really long time wanted to find something that would bring us together, kind of like, I guess it's called globalism. Okay, I'm not saying he's I'm not making any take on that, but they wanted to find some reason for us to all come together and need to essentially become one. Like if you look at, like any fascist country, like they have that, or any socialist country, they'll have that. Oh, you work for your state, you're loyal to your state, your country. And sure enough, here we are. They used and they found it through a pandemic. Bill Gates talked about this just a couple of years ago. They used a pandemic to open the doors for socialism in this country. I mean, listen, if you look at the Dems, and I think it's the House or the Senate, they're pushing for a package that's another like $2 billion. They want to bail out the airlines again and keep all these rich companies rich. They want to tax the rich more, But how come the rich all vote Democrat? Like the billionaires. They want to tax them more because they protect their monopolies. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the Republican package, and this is why they couldn't come together and make do. They kept blaming Trump for it, which, I mean, how the fuck is it his fault that a package in the House wasn't fucking made? But if you look at their package, it was only like a couple $100 million, which that sounds funny, a couple $100 million. But they didn't want to bail out the airlines again. They wanted to help smaller businesses. There's not a better way to they all shit on Jeff Bezos for his net worth going up. Maybe that's because they shut down all these small businesses and everyone was ordering through fucking Amazon while sitting on their couch at home.
Well, personally, I don't believe in any government bailouts.
I don't either. I think we gotta let them all fail.
Yeah, let them all fail. Let them all succeed. Don't let the government get involved.
If we didn't bail out these airlines, these people would fail. These companies would fail initially. There would be a little bit more unemployment, but ultimately it would open the door for all these new companies to come in, innovate, and make. Listen, if you want light speed fucking travel, if you want supersonic jets that get you to Europe in 5 seconds, stop bailing out these companies, make competition, make an incentive for them to keep competing against each other.
Yeah.
Right? And we bail them out, and I don't care how many people they fucking employ. That's regardless. That's besides the point. Because nothing's free. These kids, they don't realize nothing's free. It comes out of their taxes. Next tax season, our parents are gonna get fucked, bro. I'm telling you, because they printed all this extra money. Right now, interest rates through the Federal Reserve are like at zero. So the money in your savings and your checking account, you're losing money due to inflation. The interest rate you get in them is it's zero now, and normally it's not enough to cover inflation. But yeah. If they all said like, oh, the reason the economy is doing good is because of Obama, and I kind of agree that, okay, well, the previous president isn't responsible for the next, but if Biden comes in here and the U.S. dollar does crash, it won't be necessarily just his fault. Trump, and this is why they call him radical. He's not a principled Republican. He prints out a lot of money. He stimulated a lot. He's really more moderate, But
I was against the stimulus checks.
I mostly was too, or at least to the small businesses.
Look, I understand the idea of them. The whole point is to stimulate the economy, get these $1,200, and go spend it at the grocery store, at online Amazon, or reinvest into the economy. But not everyone was doing that.
Yeah, I think that the problem is when everyone starts hoarding their money and stops spending, and the banks aren't lending anymore, then there's no money. And if we're in a standstill, everything crashes.
Exactly.
Yeah, everything backs up, because then all these companies aren't making money, so they can't fund their workers, and because they can't fund their workers, the workers have no money to spend. It's just one giant fucking circle. But what are we talking about?
Well, we started off with the COVID vaccine.
Yeah. The COVID vaccine. Yeah. No, I'm not anti-vax, but I think you should have the libertarian choice. The libertarian choice. And I mean, like, listen, I think if you don't vax, at least with those old things you mentioned, like the measles and the chickenpox, like come on, bro, you gotta get with it. Like, you gotta get fucking with it.
What do you mean by that?
Like, they're assholes. They're assholes for not doing it. They should do it. They're kind of assholes for not doing it.
For not doing what?
getting chicken pox shot for their fucking kids. Some of these viruses.
Why are they assholes?
Some of these kids would have wiped. No, they're not assholes. They're idiots. Because some of these viruses would have wiped out realistically the majority of the population. Now I'm all for them having the choice to do it, but it's like I have the choice for someone to. What's another dumb thing they can do what they shouldn't?
I don't think it's fair. I don't agree.
I think they're dumb. I think they should have the right to choose to do it.
I disagree with that. I think people, I'm sorry if you guys want to talk about science. Yes, there have been vaccines that have caused mental or physical disabilities in people.
Absolutely.
There are, and it's at the end of the day, do you guys know what a vaccine is? It is a dead virus that they are putting into your bloodstream, into your body. So yes, it might prevent you.
When you say it like that, it sounds bad.
But that's what it is. At the end of the day, okay.
No, that is what it is.
If you get the chickenpox vaccine, yes, you are now being prevented from the chickenpox. But you don't know what your body is now. You don't know what your body's now susceptible to. Is that a word? Yeah, susceptible. I'm pretty sure that's the word I'm looking for. But you don't know what your body is. What's the word? Where your body is like.
Well, listen, kids can get it. And get
no. Let me finish. So if
is that what you mean? Where they don't get the antibodies?
No. What I'm saying is, okay, getting the chickenpox vaccine is now making your body essentially, not 100%, but essentially immune to the chickenpox. But now your body's opened up to getting other sicknesses from this dead virus that's been put into your bloodstream.
Yeah, kids can get it.
That is not natural. Humans should not have dead viruses in their bloodstream.
When you sleep, you get virus. There's a million things a day that your body, if your body didn't eliminate, would kill you. The next day, like, the whole notion, I talked about this with Luke, that something that's natural is better is bullshit. And you as a Republican, and like you as a Republican or like right wing, you should know that better than anyone.
I'm not Republican.
Look at GMOs. Do you support GMOs?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I support them. I think.
You support genetically modified foods?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the majority of us wouldn't fucking exist without it.
That's
idea that something's natural makes it better that's fake. That's bullshit. There are mushrooms you can eat in the fucking woods.
How would we not survive without GMOs?
What?
How would we not survive without GMOs?
I can send you sources. We wouldn't have enough food.
That's not true.
Be fast enough. I believe it is. Or we would need a lot more deforestation.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm against genetically modified foods, and even if you want to have them, they should be required to be put on the labels.
Do you think it's disgusting how in Pelham they found that, what was it, in the food a couple of years ago, like some bug, and all the parents were flipping out on moms in Pelham.
I don't know.
And all these kids were finding like bugs in their food after. Yeah,
at the Pelham, Pelham High School, their food.
Yeah. It's what happens when you have all natural food. Not something that's all natural doesn't make it that much better.
Yeah, but a genetically modified food is not that good either.
Why?
Because you got, like I said again, I'm not saying all natural is healthy, but in my opinion, all unnatural is not healthy.
I can find you a million things that
because your body was not made for that. Genetically modified. It is not.
Well, our body wasn't made to look at an LED screen. That's like fake light. Like what?
And is that good for your body? Looking at an LED screen?
Is it good for your body? No, but
it's not.
No, but we wouldn't be had this podcast right now if you didn't look at a screen. You might not have a majority of the things.
And that's a risk. Yeah, I understand that. That's why.
What?
No, and I understand that we wouldn't be doing this podcast right now. But with your computer screen or with your phone, that causes other problems in your body. Mm. Radiation issues and that's a risk you want to take.
That's why I think it's good you have the choice to not eat foods with GMOs.
Yeah, but I just don't think they should be offered because our
bodies. Are cars natural?
What?
Cars are natural. Are they good for you?
No, they're not. All that gas.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Oh yeah, all that gas people are inhaling and stuff. All the gasoline and.
Also the risk of when you drive.
That's what I'm saying too.
Yeah.
Now, do I think it should be
So where do we draw the line?
Do I think all unnatural things should be illegal? No. Do I think all unnatural things should be promoted? No. I'm not saying you don't put car ads on the TV, but I'm saying, for example, genetically modified foods should not be promoted as much as they are until...
They're not. I don't think they're promoted.
I
never hear about them.
You always hear about them.
Well, I hear about foods. I don't hear about the GMOs specifically.
You hear about genetically modified food. We learned about in health class, I think, like every year that I've been in health.
Really?
Yeah, we talk about GMOs.
What do they say? What do they say about it in that class?
A lot of times they're pro GMO, not necessarily due to a food shortage, but it's more like the deforestation and the killing the animals and stuff like that. So I just think they're both stupid, but that's whatever. I've eaten genetically modified foods before. I'm not saying I'm going to die off it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just don't think it's...
I think there's a lot of luxuries you don't realize we need or have because of something that's unnatural,
No, and I get that. But what I'm saying is I just don't think it should be, promoted as much as it is.
I don't think it's promoted. Well, I don't hear ads saying, "Oh, our food has GMOs." It's not a selling point.
Yeah, because people don't like it right now. People don't like the word genetically modified.
Yeah, they just don't like the word. Yeah, they don't understand how.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand
how much of a luxury it is.
Is it a luxury though?
Many of your favorite foods wouldn't be on your plate without it.
And
so if they don't like it, they can just not eat it.
You're using the same argument you did with the screens. You're like, well, we wouldn't have the podcast right now. You wouldn't have your favorite foods, and I get that.
But it is a luxury.
But is it really? Because it's ultimately hurting your body. Playing an Xbox for 12 hours a day, you are hurting your body. More than helping it.
But the fact that you have 12 hours a day to blow,
Yeah, but that is not healthy for the human body.
Right. But don't you agree? Who's the government to say we talked about this when we talked about drugs? What do you think? Who do you think the government is to tell you what's good for you, what isn't for you? I'm not saying you are, because again, you said you should have the right to choose.
Yeah.
No, I'm just agreeing. Yeah.
I think GMOs should be allowed, but I just don't think it should be as, commercialized as it is. But that's a difference of opinion, and it doesn't seem like we're gonna come to it.
Well, there's a reason why so many manufacturers use it. Because they're not making that much more money. If they're not making any more money by selling foods that's natural, they can specialize for a market in particular. But the majority of people, if you were to tell them they're eating GMOs, they would not like it. But the majority of people don't realize, I think, that the majority of their foods they're eating are,
genetically modified. No, I get that. But I mean, it's a bad example. Not even gonna say it, but like I said, I'm just against being told what you have to do, what you can't do by a government force, and that's with all things.
It's funny how that ties into the abortion argument.
Well, it does. Well, that's why I'm partially for abortion. Look, am I morally against it? Yes. Is it murder? Yes. I'm sorry if you disagree with that. Stop. But
partially for it and partially against it.
Well, the only reason I'm partially for it is because, first off, even if they weren't to ban abortions, it would still happen anyway. Yeah. And second off, it's the same thing.
It'd be all these underground abortions, literally.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I get the government shouldn't, really have a say in that. I think that should be more of a company thing, but a private thing. But I'm totally against it. Personally, I'm against it, but I still think it should be legal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's why I think there's levels to it, like we talked about on that podcast. If you want to hear about that, just go check that out. But there's levels to it. If you're a day away from being due, a week away from being due, that ain't it.
But still, I'm against using heroin.
If you got, I want to say, how do I say this? Yeah, no, if you got Prego a week before, it's not a big deal. It's almost hypocritical, the right to say, oh, but even to sell on Mars.
But the same thing with drugs. I'm against using drugs, but I think it should still be legal.
Yeah.
It's the same idea. But I'm not going to get into abortion because people are going to start crying and having a fucking panic attack if you say.
No, this was good, though.
But yeah, I guess we covered a lot.
Last ideas?
No, not really. We covered a lot.
But we gotta do one for the election soon.
We will. But I'm waiting for all this election bullshit to go over.
I gotta plug my Twitter because not to talk about the election, but I have found a way to. I always wanted to, because I invest in stocks. I always wanted to find a way to bet on the election, and I thought no one really did it or it wasn't really popular. Now that my brother shows me this site, Predict It. You've probably heard of it.
Maybe.
Predict It, and you can bet on House, election, and they have all these markets, and you can bet on individual states, the margin of victories, the popular votes, and the odds right now that if Trump wins, you're making is it 1 to 8 or 8 to 1? You're 8xing your money. It's unbelievable. Usually the odds are never like this. And listen, even if you don't think Trump's gonna win, you put $100 on that, you might make what most kids in high school are gonna make in a little bit under a summer. So yeah, I got $150 bet, and if that works out, it's gonna be close to $1,000. But one of them is a bet of who's gonna win any of these three. If Trump wins any of these three, the payout's like $530, not including like the 10% withdrawal fee. But it's at, will Trump win any of these three? Pennsylvania, Georgia, or Nevada? All three are looking bad, but I mean that's why the odds are so crazy, because it's not looking good for him. And the other bet was which state will have the smallest margin of victory, and I bet that Arizona will. And then I hedged that with, because the payout on that I put $10 on, and if it goes through, I think it's like at least a couple $100. Wow. For just $10, literally just a $10 bet. And then I hedged that with Georgia not winning, because you can also bet that one state will win. You can also, if you want to diversify and get more like broad-based exposure, you can bet what state won't win. So I bet that Georgia won't win, and right now they do have the smallest margin of victory, which is why that contract was so cheap. And so I pretty much hedged it. And
I see. No, but yeah, that's it. I think we definitely need to get an episode when I get back about just
going more depth about the situation.
Yeah, when do you leave back to college?
Early, like the first day of February is when classes
Okay,
start.
so I think
like the end of the
electoral college, like, does their vote?
I'm here for a month and a half.
The electoral college does their vote in like early to mid-December, so I think we should do the election after that. Like after it's done.
Well, the court case might be a little bit after that.
No, once electoral college votes, it's over.
Yeah, well, they have to certify.
Well, yeah, but once they vote, it's essentially over. There aren't a lot of court cases left.
Yeah, unless he has a military coup.
So after the election's like done, I think we should have our episode on it.
Dude, I don't want to be in the dark for a month about this. We got to talk about.
It's not gonna be a month.
Our predictions.
It's in like what's the date? It's the
November
22nd. It's like December 8th. Is the electoral vote?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like
early
to
the inauguration. Oh, you meant the inauguration.
Oh, inauguration's like January 20th or something.
Yeah.
But
wait, I thought it was next month this time.
What? Inauguration's in January.
Okay.
Or January 21st or something.
I thought it was okay.
But no, it's New Year, because Trump has to do 4 full years.
Oh, right.
He started in 2017, January.
I see.
So now it's the end of 2021, January. But yeah, guys, that was a lot. We covered a lot. I think
that was one of the best.
We had some good talks.
Productive podcasts we've had.
Yeah, probably.
I'm fucking exhausted. I'm
one of the few where we actually argued on it, which is good.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we have.
So I want a guest on I can argue with. And
we have some opposed debate.
Debate. I don't want to say argue because that gets people scared. But
check out. Well, we only have the YouTube right now, so I guess we can plug our socials.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put all our links in the description.
Yeah, Twitter,
for Instagram, Snapchat, Twitters.
Yeah, you're more than likely just viewing this on YouTube right now. And
but yeah, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't liked this video already, like the video. If you've tuned in for this long, you gotta like it.
Yeah, tell your friends, and in the description we're gonna have probably an email link where you can send us an email if you want to be on the podcast. We have a waiting list coming up soon. Since I got back, I lined up a couple. I lined up one with Justin Ramsey, Max Cuomo, which are two like famous last names. One Max Cuomo. He is related to the governor.
Yes, I got a couple.
But Ramsey, that last name is a little bit different if you know. Yeah. If you know the context of that. Yeah, but he's not related at all.
Yeah, but I got I got some lined up. Just some, music artists and stuff like that. But yeah, that's really it, guys. So thank you for tuning in. And this was, I believe, the 6th. I might be wrong. If it's not the 6th, it's the 7th installment of the Big Balla Show. Thank you. Peace out.